My name is Tamara T. I am a 7-figure Amazon FBA seller, and I have been selling on Amazon FBA for over 3 years. In today's video, I will be showing you how to look for Amazon FBA products to sell using Helium 10. Helium 10 and Feedbackwhiz are the only Amazon FBA software tools that you need to run a successful Amazon FBA business. Now, I did a similar video half a year ago where I used Helium 10 black box to look for products to sell on Amazon. If you missed that video, you may want to go back to it because this video was very popular and I got a lot of people asking me, Tamara, can you make more videos on product research? So that's why in today's YouTube video, I really want to go deeper into product research and tell you everything that you need to know if you want to find a winning product. Now, since Helium 10 has launched Black Box, there are so many additional tools that they have launched in addition to just using this products tab right here. So I will explain these other tabs as well and how this can help you look for winning products. We will also be diving into keyword research because if you have been following me, you know how important it is that you need to know your keywords and your competitors' keywords when you are choosing products. It's not just about the type of product, it's really about the keyword research and how popular and how high in demand are your keywords. The more popular your keywords are, the more sales you may be able to get with your product, but that is only a starting point. And like I said, I'm here to break down everything today. I like to teach what I call $10,000 per month profit products. So what that means is that I have a criteria here that I want to explain to you that you have to understand if you want to make $10,000 per month. Why $10,000 per month? Why not more than $10,000? Well, that is because a lot of sellers, when they start their Amazon FBA business, they are really interested in making 5 figures per month. Let's face it, when you want to sell products on Amazon, you want to make as much money as you can. But how I like to teach this is I like to teach a strategy where you will be making a good, decent amount of money so you are not wasting your time. Does that mean that products that are under $10,000 per month is bad? No, but I don't want to waste anybody's time. Therefore, I like to look for products that will give you that $10,000 per month profit. So if we look at revenue right here, the minimum and maximum amount of monthly revenue is something you need to consider if you want to make a certain amount of money in profits. Now, revenue is not profits. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know that. If you want to make $10,000 per month in profit, for example, the minimum amount of revenue here should be at least $20,000. And maximum, that really depends on how far you want to take this. But I don't recommend a maximum amount of revenue that's like $1 million because guess what? Those types of products are very saturated. So you have to think here. If you have a 30% profit margin, for example, if I take out my calculator and my profit margin is 30%, so if I take $20,000 and multiply that by 30%, at the end of the day, I am left with $6,000. So you can see here, maybe $20,000 may not even be enough. You may want to adjust it to $30,000. And if I take out my calculator and do $30,000, multiply that by 30%, after all said and done, you have $9,000 in profit every month that you may want to use for extra inventory, for extra advertising, whatever it is that you choose to do. But this is how I like to look at it, you guys. This is why monthly revenue is so important. You may hear other people say, okay, let's type in $1,000 revenue, which is the lowest amount. But what is that really going to do for you? If we take our 30% profit margin, for example, do you really only want to bring home $300 every single month? I mean, that would be nice, but I think a lot of us want to aim higher. So there you have it. This is why monthly revenue is so important. Price is also important because you shouldn't be selling any product that is very low in price, or else you will have no margins. So if you sell something under $11 or $12, after FBA fees and after inventory and shipping and everything else, you are not going to have a big margin. Now, for my first winning product, it was actually $10, but that was 3 to 4 years ago, and that is not something that I suggest today. So make sure that your price is at least $12, $13, even $15, and your maximum price is not too high. For example, if your maximum price for a product, say you want to sell a product for $100, guess what? It will cost you a ton of money to source a product that can be sold for $100 on Amazon. You may have to pay $50 per unit. And if we do the math, you guys know I like to do the math. If I source a product for $50 and I order 1,000 of them, because that's what you should be doing in private label after you are very confident with your product choice, you are paying $50,000 up front just for inventory. And that is something that I do not want for you. That is why you don't want to set the price too high. For a review count, you want to make sure that your competitors do have some reviews for you to work with. So I suggest at least 10 reviews and maximum amount of reviews. You don't want too many as well. Now, everyone will have a different opinion for this. For me, I don't like to look at anything over 500 to 1,000 reviews. Now, some top sellers will always have over 1,000 reviews, and that is completely fine. But you should consider only private label sellers, because these are the guys that you are competing against, and you should not focus too much on the big brands. Unless the big brand is taking up the entire niche, obviously you should not sell that product. But if one or two top private label sellers have more than 1,000 reviews, I may be able to let that slide. Review rating. You want to look at products with a poor review. So I like to look at 3 and 5, because if your competitors have a product that you want to sell and they have really poor review ratings, you want to go in to fix that product. You want to launch a product that is a better version. So you want to make sure that your review rating is no less than 3 and in between 5. Shipping size tier is something that every Amazon FBA coach will have a different opinion on. Now, for me and how I teach my students, I like to start with small and large and maybe small oversize, maybe. The reason why you want to start here if you are new, if you are within your first year selling on Amazon FBA, you want to start with small or large standard size. And the reason why you want to do this is because this will lower your risk. It means that you don't have to invest that much money up front to launch your product. If you were to choose oversized products, large or special or medium, it's going to be a big product, and guess what? Big products will cost more to source, big products will cost more to ship, big products will have more Amazon FBA fees. You can find really good margins with oversized products, but for majority of us, I think a lot of you are new and that's why you are watching me on my YouTube channel. I suggest starting around here so you do not break your bank and you lower your risk. Next up, we have advanced filters. Now, I don't fill out too much of this information, but there are some things you need to fill out. Weight is a very important filter here because I don't suggest anything over 2.5 pounds. Maybe 3 pounds, maybe, but that's really heavy as a beginner. If you can, try to keep your product under 2 pounds because then it will likely fall in the small and large standard size and you will not get charged as much for your product. Variation count is also very important because if a product has too many variations, it is going to be very hard for you to compete. Say you are selling tablecloths and you really want to sell a tablecloth, but your competitors have 20 variations. They have one in red, orange, yellow, green. You get the idea. You cannot compete with that. If you come in with one variation and your competitors have like 20 variations, it's not going to work. So what I like to start with is 2 or 3. And everything else here is pretty optional. If you only want to look at competitors with a specific number of images, you can. But I think a lot of things here are kind of useless. Like you don't need to fill it out because, for example, if you look at competitors that only have 1 picture to 3 pictures, well, chances are they may go in and add more images. So I don't think that's a really good starting point for you to put in the amount of images that your competitors have. I like to just leave this blank, but the most important areas are right here. So after you fill in what you want to look at, one last thing is categories. You should be selecting 1 category at a time. If you select all, you are going to get extremely overwhelmed because thousands of products will start popping up and you will get really confused. I suggest selecting a category that you are passionate about, because who doesn't want to sell things that they love? But it doesn't always have to be about passion. So for me, I sell in baby and I sell in toys and games, but to be quite honest, I'm not a huge fan of babies or toys and games. But hey, these types of products sell really well, and that's why I do it. So after that, you want to click on this search button right here, and a lot of products will start popping up. Now, everything I just explained is enough for you to go out there and start looking for products. Let's look at keywords. Now, keywords is another way to look for products. If you are one of my FBA Winners students, you know that I dive deep into keywords when we are choosing products to sell on Amazon FBA. What you want to use keywords for is if you really want to look at the demand for the amount of times a customer searches per keyword. So let's say I come in here and I want to look at products with a higher demand. And I think that products that are searched at least 3,000 to 100,000 times per month will be a good product. This is another way to look for products, because now we are only pulling up keywords that are very popular. You don't want to type in keywords here that have like 10 searches per month to 1,000 searches per month, because that is really little. You want to find search volume that has enough demand, but that is not overly saturated. So if you are someone that thinks, okay, well, I want keywords that have 500,000 searches per month to 1 million searches per month, that to me is a very saturated product. So you may have to do some testing here and figure out, okay, what is a good demand for the product that I have in mind, but this is how you would look for products here. Very similar to products tab, you will enter monthly revenue. How much revenue do you expect to make per month? The price, review count, review rating, word count. You can do word count as well. I don't like using word count. I find this a little confusing and too restricted. But in the advanced filters, you can look at categories, exclude certain keywords. So if you want to sell a beach ball, for example, but you want to sell a beach ball for kids and non-adults, you may want to exclude the keywords adults. I don't use keywords too much for product research. I prefer using products, but keywords is something that you may consider if you are very focused on the demand of specific searches from customers. Right here we have competitors. You can narrow it down to competitors as well. What type of competitors do you want to find when you are doing your research? You can type in an ASIN of a competitor, look at specific categories that they are in, and fill out the rest right here. There are advanced filters as well. I don't use competitors too much, but I like to use it if I have a competitor that sells all sorts of different types of products in different niches. So maybe my competitor Nike sells shoes, and they also do baby clothing, and maybe they sell arts and crafts, I don't know, but that will be a good time to use competitors, because then you can see what your competitor is selling for different categories. Niche is something that is new. I actually never use this myself, but if you really want to look at a specific niche, then you will enter a phrase right here. Maybe you only want to look for jade roller, or maybe you want to look for beach balls. I don't know, but you will enter the phrase right here and then fill everything out. Now, I'm not going to go over this too much, because I really don't think looking at niche is a good idea to only focus on when you are trying to find a product to sell. Like I mentioned, you want to explore different categories under products, even if you are not passionate about it, because if the numbers and if the keywords make sense, then you should go with that product. Product targeting is something that is new as well. Product targeting reminds me of Amazon PPC product targeting, but what you can do here is enter your competitor's ASIN, enter the specifics that you want, and then look at all the products that pop up. So the two most common black box Amazon product research strategies that I like to use are products and keywords. I don't use competitors, niche, or product targeting too much. I think using these three just gets a little too specific, and when you get too specific, you may not find any products at all. So make sure you guys start here under products and fill in everything that we just talked about. If you get lost, then all you do is click on the learn button up here, and someone will do a demo on how to further use this tool. If you guys are enjoying this video so far, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you can get notified every single time I post a new tutorial. Next up, we have keyword research. Now, keyword research is different from keywords right here. When you are using keywords right here, this is for Amazon product research only. But when you are using keywords right here, we can use Cerebro to reverse ASIN our competitors to look for what type of keywords they are ranked for, and we can use magnet keyword research. I like using magnet keyword research to look for other longer tail keywords related to my product. Why is this important? Because it will show the search volume of your product and how popular it is. So let's use our beach ball example. We have beach ball right here. Click on get keywords, and then you will see the search volume and everything else here pop up. When you make a decision to choose a product to sell on Amazon, it's crucial that you look at the search volume for the most relevant keywords. Your keywords have to be relevant. So I typed in beach ball right here because it's a very generic keyword, and a bunch of longer tail specific keywords will pop up that we need to analyze. So if we go down here and we click on search volume right here and sort this from big to small, you will soon see a lot of keywords that are relevant and that are irrelevant. So pool toys is not relevant. I mean, it's very generic, and if I was a customer looking at pool toys, I may be not looking for a beach ball because it's such a generic type of keyword. So you want to remove this keyword right here. It's not an inflatable pool. It's a beach ball, so we want to remove inflatable pool right here. Now you get the idea. You want to remove everything that is irrelevant. What you want to focus on are relevant longer tail keywords. So beach ball right here is obviously relevant, but it's not very specific. Is it a beach ball for kids? Is it a red beach ball for adults? And it has 13,000 searches per month. Now this search volume dropped because we are in wintertime right now and not many people are going to the beach, but I'm just using this product as an example. So if we go down and we want to look at specific keywords related to a beach ball, and we want to look at specific relevant keywords related to a beach ball, instead of going through the entire list right here and crossing keywords out, what I like to do is go to advanced filters, and right here, show phrases that contain beach ball. Now it will pull up all of the longer tail keywords that are relevant and specific to a beach ball. This is what you need to pay attention to, because this is where all of the warm customers will be searching for your product. When you target keywords that are more specific, like large beach ball, giant beach ball, big beach ball, and you look at the search volume right here, this is going to tell you what warm customers are looking for and what is relevant to your product. Compared to the big list of keywords that we had previously, where there are so many random keywords that do not relate. So all you need to do is cross-check and see if there are any relevant keywords with a good amount of search volume per month to make a decision, should you source this product or should you not? Now, obviously with keyword research, there is so much more that I go into. And if you are a student, you can find this information inside of FBA Winners course. The next part of Amazon product research that you must look at and research is by using Helium 10 Keyword Research Cerebro. Now, I am going to use an example right here how you should be using Cerebro and why it is important before you say yes to a product. So I'm going to put in this ASIN right here. It's just an example beach ball, but what this is doing and how this is different than Magnet, what we were just looking at, is that Magnet was pulling up all the keywords across Amazon that are related to a beach ball. With Cerebro, we are only fixated on one competitor that we have been spying on. So maybe you have been spying on this specific seller for a really long time and you're wondering, okay, how are they making their sales? What could it be? What keywords do I need to focus on if I want to make as many sales as them? And of course, you will be going through their reviews and everything else as well. But right here, I just want to talk about the importance of Cerebro. So if we go right here and we look at organic rank and we sort organic rank from big to small. So this means that this keyword, inflatable beach ball, for this specific seller is position 1 for inflatable beach ball. This is really good. This probably means that they are getting some sales because they are ranked number 1 organically for inflatable beach ball. The search volume is 886 per month, which is not bad. That's a decent amount of search volume. So what you want to do when you create your product listing and when you look at your competitors' keywords is to make sure that these keywords are in your listing, the ones that are relevant. There will be keywords that are not too relevant. Example, Minions beach ball. If you're not selling a Minions beach ball, then obviously you don't include the word Minions, but you get what I mean. You want to make sure that all of their high ranked keywords are somewhere in your listing because that's how they are making sales. And you need to be indexed for these keywords as well. We also want to cross-check that the search volume is good. I mean, if all of this search volume had like 10 searches, I don't think that's good. I will think that is pretty bad actually. But this specific beach ball is doing pretty well because I did the research before I filmed this video. So that's how you want to cross-check your competitors' keywords and how they are doing to make sure that their keywords are good with search volume and to make sure that you include these keywords in your very own listing. Now, there are so many other moving parts to Amazon product research, but these are the main things that you need to know and you need to learn so you can at least get started. That's the whole point of today's video. Next, I want to go over some things that you need to keep in mind when you are doing your Amazon FBA product research. One thing that you need to keep in mind is that a product that is good for me may not be good for you. Let me explain. Since we all have different budgets when we are trying to start this Amazon FBA business, a product that I find to be really good may not be suitable for you. For example, if I am a seller and I have a large amount of capital that I can throw into my business, maybe I have a bunch of savings. Maybe I already found my winning product and now I am sourcing a second product and I may have a different opinion. So my type of product that what I consider to be a good product may not be good for you because I simply can afford more to sell a more expensive product. So whenever you hear other coaches or people sharing their ideas about what makes a good product, it may be a good product for them, but it may not be suitable for you. Therefore, you should work with people that understand the situation that you are in. Maybe you are someone that is very limited with a certain amount of budget that you are willing to put into this business. Maybe you have a business partner. Maybe you only want to focus on kids products. Maybe you want to find someone that knows a lot about products in the beach ball niche, whatever it is. Just remember that everyone will have a different opinion. So if you do ask your coach or ask someone for an opinion on your product, make sure that you get different opinions from different people and make sure that they understand the situation that you are in. And also make sure that they understand this business. You cannot be asking your family and friends who have never been in business and then expect them to give you a good answer whether or not your product is a good or bad product. They won't have an idea because they are not in this business with you. Next is Amazon selling experience. So similar to what I just said, make sure that when you are focused on your Amazon FBA product research, when you are going through this entire journey, that you are talking to individuals who have selling experience. Do not ask random people random questions. You are more than welcome to post your questions in my Facebook group. I know we have some very experienced sellers, but we also have people that are very new. So make sure you take other people's opinions with a grain of salt. I'm not saying that everyone's opinions are wrong or many of them are wrong, but again, you need to be on this journey with people that have selling experience so you do not make any costly mistakes. One person's bad comment or bad opinion about your product can cost you a lot of money, so keep that in mind. We just talked about affordability, but I want to type this out as well so you remember. Next, we have product differentiation. This is huge. Now, I've been talking to a few other coaches. I am familiar with a few of them. I also have other online friends that sell on Amazon FBA and make much more money than I do. They are in the 8-figure range. Now, with product differentiation, a lot of people have a different definition of differentiation. How I like to teach differentiation is by improving a product not only by the size or the color, but to differentiate by what customers actually want, not by differentiating what you think on the top of your head. So you may be trying to sell a hairbrush, and you may think a hairbrush with different bristles may be better for the hair because that's what you want. But the real question is, what do the customers on Amazon want? What are your competitors' customers saying about their product? Because that is how you can truly differentiate from your competitors. Not by color, not by size, maybe not even by material, but by what customers are wanting and what they are saying in product reviews. And believe it or not, product differentiation, you will only truly differentiate a product after you launch your product. So this is something I've been teaching my students, and that is, let's say you've been researching on the hairbrush we're just talking about, you launch your hairbrush and you think that you have differentiated it because other customers have written reviews for your competitors talking about what they would like with the hairbrush. But how you can truly differentiate your product is by launching it first and then reading reviews from your own customers. So after you launch your hairbrush, your very own customers will start leaving you reviews, start leaving you ratings, and what they are saying about your product. That is the true way to differentiate, because now you can improve your product from what your customers are saying in the next batch of inventory. It's never the end of the world when you launch a product and it's not working out for you. You should pay attention to what your very own customers are saying about your product and then differentiate that way. The last thing you need to keep in mind is risk. You may have heard this before, or maybe you have not, but entrepreneurs who take the most amount of risk will get the highest return in reward. So if you are someone that loves to take risk and risk does not bother you, you are not scared of anything, which I highly doubt. A lot of us are scared about a lot of things, especially when you are trying to start a new business. But what I'm trying to say is you should really think about what are your risk levels. Because if you are listening to someone that risk everything and they are big risk takers and you try to follow their footsteps, it may not be good for you and your business. Maybe you are someone that doesn't want to take a lot of risks. You want to take things slowly. You want to go at your own pace. That's completely fine. But sometime along your Amazon FBA journey, you are going to have to take a lot of risk. This will really test you as a business owner and as an individual. How much risk are you willing to take? Because if you cannot take a lot of risk, then this business is going to be extremely challenging for you. So what I am trying to say is, don't just listen to people who take a ton and a ton of risk. I definitely take more risk now than I did 3 years ago. But you want to make sure that the other person that you are learning from and that you are listening to understands your risk levels and how they can help you move forward with your business without risking everything, especially if you are new. I hope this video has helped you today. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you drop it in the comments section below. Give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video.